shift in cultural awareness. We perhaps culturally started with the words Oriental, which is, as I understand his origin, is simply, it was a word that described anything east, and Occidental was anything west, and has, in subsequent time, taken on different meaning. And even here locally, what was once known as Chinatown is now known as AsiaTown. Please talk a little bit about what you see as the shift in cultural awareness amongst the community, from the good, the bad, and everything in between. And anyone, please, who would like to respond to that.
Well, you know, when I was away, when the thing changed from Chinatown to AsiaTown, when I got back, when I hear about it there, and the person interviewed me in Oberlin, I believe, that when it happened, they came up and they talked to me about it. And I would, you know, I think if they change the name AsiaTown to Chinatown to AsiaTown, I didn't like too much it because everywhere in the world, they always their Chinatown. They always their Chinatown. Nowhere say AsiaTown. Like in Chicago, for instance, they have two places. One, the old Chinatown street area there, and another place called Agao. Agao, that's where the Vietnamese town are. So when I remember, I told that report that I think they do that. They degrade Chinese. You know, they Chinese people, or however I said at that time. But I don't like the way how they changed it because Chinese to know everywhere in the world. Why just China? We don't have Chinatown here. You know, when people come visit me, I don't say go to AsiaTown. I say we go to Chinatown. Because I think I like the Chinatown better because China is a big country. It's very grand. You know, that's how I see it.
Yeah, well, I'm just curious if you will have any insight into this. I think back maybe 50 years ago, 60 years ago, 40 years ago, the way our mindset was, anyone who looked with a certain kind of features, we all thought they were all Chinese, as if China was just one nation and everyone. But I think over the years, as we have become more geographically aware, more politically aware and all that, I think we have begun to understand that there are, besides Chinese, there are Koreans, there are Indonesians, there are Filipinos, and all of that. And maybe it is a matter of pride for each of those groups that they felt that it is probably not fair to them to club everybody into the Chinese group.
I happen to sit in the St. Clair Superior Development Corp board member. I'm the secretary there. And my understanding about the reason why they changed from Chinatown to AsiaTown is because the Cleveland Asian population in Chinatown doesn't exist for real. There's only about 3,000 to 5,000 residents live in that area. And majority of the time you have Vietnamese, Chinese, Korean, Japanese visiting the so-called AsiaTown nowadays to shop, to eat, to spend money. So I think during the time when Jeffrey Johnson was the councilman in the 80s, 90s, sorry, he had thought about we should probably make this neighborhood AsiaTown. But the whole idea was to make the area more visible to the public and becoming, instead of a hidden gem, we become a one of the neighborhoods like Tremont or Ohio City. So that whole plan was to create from the historic Chinatown, which is the Rockwell Avenue area, to now. Also, the other reason they decided to change the word Chinatown to AsiaTown because of the back history. There's lots of back history in Cleveland where, for example, there was a one time frame where the Chinese were persecuted. There's one time frame where the Japanese Americans went to internment camp, and they had to change the name to Chinese so they could be protected in Cleveland. There's also a time where there's a lot of gang members, Chinese gang members, which you don't see that anymore, fighting against each other and killing people like crazy in Cleveland. And so all this back history is something that they want to be forgotten. So they try to make it more like the historic Chinatown, and then now the current what they call the AsiaTown. So that's one of the two reasons that I'm aware of. And then back to the word Orientals. Did you know in Europe, in China right now, the word Oriental actually still used as the way it is as we use Asians? So I think the political correctness in the United States is make a word Asian symbolize the people, whereas in Europe and in Asia, the word Oriental is still used validly speaking normal. There's no political correctness issue concern about that.
Oh, of course, please do. No, please do.
I still don't like to change to Chinatown. I tell you, the Vietnamese people and all that stuff, they go there and live, but they get for the business, really. Because I think Cleveland should change back to Chinatown, because anywhere in the world has Chinatown.